Hey, what's up? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this LPL 2-game slate on Tuesday, March 31st. Today we just have a 2-game slate. Nothing too much to choose from. Lineups aren't going to be that different. So far, you got your favorites. Invictus Gaming is favored over OMG, which is actually a good team. They're both really good teams. Invictus Gaming has a better record for the season, but they both have winning records, so they're both pretty good teams. And then you got Edward Gaming favored over LGD Gaming. So if you want to be different today, you can go with stacking LGD and OMG. Most of the ownership, I believe, will go to Invictus Gaming just because they're the best team on the slate. But not that much better than OMG. OMG has some good carries on their team too that can help them win this matchup. Honestly, it's going to be a good game. Probably one of the best games of the season, just due to the fact both teams are really good. Both teams have really good carries. And I think that's about it. But yeah, I'll be stacking Invictus Gaming and Edward Gaming. Maybe throw a couple lineups with other guys, but just like I said, there's not much to choose from. So if you can make them fit, make it fit. And one thing I'm going to start doing, one thing that the LPL and the LCK do a lot is they update their stats to show who has the most players of the games for each ranked from highest to lowest in the entire season. And so I'm just going to run through the guys on each team from most player of the games to the least. I'm just going to name like 7 or 8 guys. So, I mean, up top, we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 guys tied for the most players of the games for today's slate, with 5, which is OMG's Icon, which is their mid laner. He has 5. Puff, the AD carry for Invictus Gaming, has 5. Smiles for OMG has 5 at AD carry. And the Shy has 5 for the top lane for Invictus Gaming as well. And then we got the next guys that follow up with 4 each is the mid laner for OMG, which is Rookie, Edward Gaming, Hope. The AD carry has 4 as well. And then the last 2 that I want to mention, if you're going to be playing guys from LGD that you'd want to include, are Kramer and Peanut, the jungler and the AD carry. Those are probably the 2 best players on LGD. And I feel like this stat can be kind of helpful because it usually leads you to see what was the reason those teams won that game. And it's usually going to be the players of the games, the guys on the winning team. So, I mean, in my opinion, if you have more player of the games, you're probably doing things right more often than the other guys on your team. And you'll notice it's mostly like mid and AD carry stacked. But then that's when you'll see the difference between like top laners and junglers and see the gap. Like, for example, like Kanavi has 8. He's not on today's slate. He played yesterday, but he has 8 player of the games, and he's the jungler. And I mean, you can see the difference between like him and the next guy up, which is which I believe had 5 as far as junglers. Same with Shy. Shy's the highest as far as top laners for Invictus Gaming. Just kind of lets you see the gap of how much better these guys are as far as like helping their team secure wins. The Shy is one of the best players in the world at the top lane. And then as far as someone else on this slate who's really good is Puff, for the same team. But you can't count out these guys, the underdogs. Like Rookie for OMG is very, very good as well. For the mid laner, he's considered probably top 3, top 2 mid laner in the world. And he is very good. But let's just get started. I mean, for top lane, like I mentioned, the Shy up top, he's the best top laner, in my opinion, in the world. He's very good, not just in my eyes. A lot of people consider him the best top laner. Consistent. He's a very good player. When the team's winning, he's really involved in that top lane. He's a really good player. Then, I mean, if you're going to be stacking Edward Gaming, Iote's really good as well. 14 assists per game. He hasn't played that many games. He played the last week. But he hasn't played too many this season, but they did move him to the starting lineup, which is a good thing. It's a good player. Obviously, the main issue I'm having right now, I notice, is with LGD. I did see them pull up their lineups for LGD, and they have Fen playing in the top lane, which is a mid laner, and Yuki playing in the mid lane. So they have 2 mid laners in their lineup, and this does happen often, where they do like put a mid laner in the top lane or a support laner in the top laner, just move people around, which is kind of tricky. So in my opinion, that's the reason I won't play any of the LGD guys. If I do, I'd probably play like Peanut, Kramer, and then the support, and then the team if you really believe they're going to win. Those are the guys I would play just because I don't understand their lineup. I mean, you can't try to fit Yuki and Fen in, one in the captain spot and one in the regular spot, which could benefit you, but it's kind of tricky. There's no stats on Fen, nothing new, nothing recent, nothing at all. So we really don't know what we're going to get out of him, but that could be a good GPP play at the mid lane. But I think that was all for top lane. So I assume Lies isn't playing, or Colt, so I wouldn't include them in your lineups because they're not in the official lineups. And then those are the two main guys I'll play. I mean, Zhao Zhang hasn't been playing at all, so it's just between Ioti and the Shy for me. Shy being the better player. Then you got your junglers. Junjia has been playing lately for them. I mean, he replaced Ning in the last matchup. I think it was after IG lost to E-Star, which is the best team in the LPL right now. So, I mean, can't blame him, but he had a terrible game. Went out and put you 3.8 fantasy points. So he did get replaced in the starting lineup. The official lineups does have Junjia starting, so that should be good. I'm not a huge fan of any of these junglers, really, though. I mean, if you're picking IG to win, you might want to have Leon in some of your lineups, but he's nothing too special, nothing too crazy. Peanut is probably the best jungler on the slate. Like I mentioned, he has 3 player of the games for LGD, so if you are playing them, you can play him. I mean, if the game goes 2-1, he can still have a monster game. I mean, he has 81, 71 points in that game. He leads the LPL in kills per jungler, so he has that going for him. If they win, him and Kramer would be the main reasons they win, in my opinion. So I'd make sure you include him in those stacks if you are playing LGD. Mid laners, like I mentioned, you got your really good guys like Rookie and Icon. Those are the 2 best ones on the slate. If you're going to be playing Invictus Gaming or OMG, whichever one you're going to play. Scout's solid as well. He only has about 2 player of the games, but he is a good player. I mean, he's a mid laner, he's a carry, so he's going to be heavily involved in winning as well. Scrolling down, got 80 carries. This is where it's stacked, where all these 80 carries are really good, honestly. They all have high ceilings. We've all seen them hit at least 100 points. The most consistent one is Hope, for sure. But, I mean, you got Puff for IG as well, playing very good. He has the highest ceiling, 130-point game. If this game goes 3 games, it can be really, really good. I feel like both teams are very good. Can't go wrong with stacking either one, in my opinion, but I will just be leaning towards the favor. I think the difference for me is the Shy in the top lane. I think the mid lane and the AD carry are kind of even, and it's the top lane where I see the huge difference, in my opinion, and it'll mainly be the Shy, the reason they win, because I feel like the other lanes are pretty balanced as well. The junglers are pretty balanced as well. So yeah, I think Shy will be the difference maker. Then you got support, Southwind for Invictus Gaming. I mean, Maiko for Edward Gaming, solid play. And then Killua for LGD, if you're going with those guys, he's one guy I'd include. He had a monster game his last game, 105 points in 2 games. Got that 20-point bonus for not playing that other game, the 3rd game. But yeah, like I said, I'm not just a small slate, just going with guys like from Edward Gaming and OMG. But I mean, today it wouldn't be bad to mix some guys, like mixing up the OMG and IG guys might work out pretty well, since they're a pretty well balanced matchup. Might all have some good games. But like I said, I'm going to focus, new strategy, I'm going to try focusing these guys that have the most player of the game, see how that continues to roll. So this guy's like for OMG, I'm going to make sure I include, try to include Icons and Smiles and Rookie in there. Well, Icon and Smiles, yeah. And then Rookie, the Shy for IG. And then for Edward Gaming, I'll make sure I include Hope in there. And then for LGD, I make sure I include Kramer and Peanut in there, just due to the fact that they're more of the heavily involved reasons when they do win. It's what I tend to notice. And if you're wondering, number 1 on that list is Doin B, the mid laner for Phoenix Plus for FPX, which they are actually the defending world champions as well. Really good team, which they do have a big matchup coming up this week as well, which I'll be talking about, I believe, on Wednesday. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. Short slate. Good luck.